From deep in the soul of Las Vegas, Nevada, it's the Best of the Outdoors podcast. Brought to you by Texas Fishing Game Magazine, the voice of the Texas outdoor nation. I'm your host, Dustin Warncke, and tonight I am joined by...
Your other brother, Dustin.
Dustin Ellermann is back with us again after range day, after a few days of SHOT Show, and we're here to talk about what we saw.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on... Does Las Vegas have a soul?
That's why I was using it for... You don't know about this. You don't know about this, but Chester last night was making the whole deal of from deep in the heart of Central Texas is what I normally say.
Sure.
So Chester says, well, I heard something wrong in your intro. Las Vegas doesn't have a heart. So I said, from deep in the soul of Las Vegas. And you just said that Las Vegas doesn't have a soul. So I don't know. So Chester said it was from deep in the bowels of Las Vegas.
No, that works. That works.
That just sounds awful.
Sounds accurate.
It just sounds really bad. But
Sin City.
From deep in the bowels of Las Vegas. So I couldn't seriously start the show like that. But anyway. Thanks for being on with me tonight, dude.
My pleasure.
Good to see you again. Talk about some of the things that you saw today.
Some of the things. You know what pokes out to... Or what sticks out to me the most is the stuff that's crazy. And one was, I guess as day one, I saw Traditions had, I'm looking at their muzzle loaders and stuff like that, just briefly walking by, and then there's this gun with an arrow sticking out of it.
I saw that too.
Yeah, and so I talked to them about it, and it's they call it the crack shot. And it takes a 27 caliber blank to launch a hollow shafted arrow. They never said bolt. It's just a hollow shafted arrow, up to 385 feet per second. It gave me a price of $400, which that don't sound too bad.
That's low, yeah.
And it's kind of classified. Well, it is. It's a firearm because they actually ship it with a 22 long rifle barrel as some sort of legal reasons. Okay. And then so it comes with the arrow launcher as a part of that. So you get a 22 rifle, single shot with a arrow launcher. And I asked if it was loud. They said no. And it might not be because the launch tube gas may dissipate inside the arrow shaft before it gets out that far. Uh-huh. But definitely interesting, but I'm finding a hard time placing practicality.
Okay. I get that.
Now, what this would work is like an apocalyptic movie. It's like, how are we going to kill these zombies? We're out of ammo. Hey, I got some 27 caliber blanks.
Let's shoot some bullets.
We got some arrows without any knocks. Let's put them together, bro.
That's great. Yeah, this is what we have. So let's MacGyver this sucker together, right, and make some kind of shooting.
What were we talking on Monday? It was like it's when sales are low, R&D goes up. I guess.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know if we talked about that on this podcast, but I think we talked about that on before or after the range day.
Gotcha.
You're right.
Gotcha.
You're right about that. R&D does go up.
Yeah, and so I think
you got to find an angle for everything, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So there's that.
Interesting.
I'd like to play with it, but not. Yeah.
Well, like you were talking about before we started recording, a crossbow can smoke out to
plus 400 easy.
400 plus feet per second. A Ravin or a whatever.
That's what I'm thinking. The good stuff, cool stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, the super fast scorching crossbow. So what's the purpose of having a air bolt gun? I guess is the best way to say that.
That's what I asked the rep.
But there's an air bolt, the air bow from Crossman and Pioneer.
Yeah.
And Benjamin Airbow. So, I mean,
I'm a little more impressed when they harvest air for that. But when we're using blanks, I'm like, okay.
But you know what? Okay, and this kind of gives away some of what I do. You know what else uses blanks? Dart guns that you use to dart exotics with. Cool. That's the other career.
I'd like to play with that too.
Yeah, and but the thing is kind of like an arrow because the dart moves slow and it hits hard and it hits with the needle that enters the animal, and so. This is kind of off the reservation, but basically we use a 22 blank for that dart gun.
Sure.
So anyway.
Can I borrow that? That'd be a cool video. It's always in movies.
Come to my part of Texas. Yeah, the dart gun. The tranquilizer.
Yeah. I want to play with a real trank gun.
It's a real thing.
Well, sure it is.
Dude.
I got an emu.
There's a company called New Dart, PNUE.
Got it.
Dart.
Air.
That does nothing but 22 blank. They're an FFL item, though, Ellerman. They're an FFL item because they are a firearm because they use a 22 blank.
Same as this crossbow.
That's kind of got off
not
the
crossbow
thing.
thing.
what do you call this thing? A bolt? No, it would be an arrow rifle.
That sounds good
I don't
to
even
me.
know what to say. I don't even know what to say.
Well, they call it the crack shot.
The crack shot. Okay, look that up. That's cool. What else did you see?
Let's see. Top of my disappointment list is guys were talking about Kel-Tec CP33 22 long rifle pistol, and so I do a lot of 22 long rifle at camp, and so I was like, let's check this out, and I was thoroughly disappointed because what they took their 22 Magnum pistol frame and just stuffed a 22 long rifle in it, is what it seemed like. Because
it was
the
a
grip,
big pistol frame from the picture.
Oh, yeah. So it kind of looks cool. It looks Hollywood's futuristic-ish, because it's weird and different. But the grip part itself was super long. Put 4 fingers and then try to wrap your hand around the 4 flat fingers.
Just the top tips of your fingers get around the grip.
Exactly. So it is a 22, so recoil control is not a big deal. But the grip was super non-ergonomic, and it was probably just cheaply done of, hey, let's just chamber it and keep the same molds. I get it.
So we don't have to spend any more money on R&D.
And the trigger, well, it didn't have really a wall to break on, but it was nice and light and smooth.
Right.
But threaded barrel. So I was like, well, this has potential. And then I racked the action, because it's not really a slide.
Right.
And it has these 2 wire, spring wire extensions that are on this grip thing that go into the interior bolt, and you could just flex and twist it.
That could be a problem.
Oh, yeah. If I wanted to, I could have probably just popped it off in the booth. But
so you could probably determine that this thing's going to break in the future.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to... It's just in first impressions, but from what I'm used to, it's I seriously doubt it would make it through this impressively 33 round capacity magazine without having issues. It's supposed to quad stack. Most
really?
of the 22. Yeah, I don't know.
Quad stack.
Yeah, it's like a quad stack. It's got. It's
like
fat.
a double stack.
Exactly. It's like a fat translucent magazine. You could put 4 rounds side by side on it. Because how else are you going to fit 33 rounds in a handle
pistol,
like that?
Yeah, in a pistol magazine. This is not a Ruger 1022 by any means.
Yeah, but all the reliable handguns that you see are 10, maybe 12 rounds, single stack, and they don't really. I'm just. I don't want to. Okay, my first impressions were poor. I would love to prove myself wrong, and it'd be awesome. But I wouldn't. Yeah, I would be very impressed if it
did well.
If it ran well.
Performed well for your range test. Performed well for your...
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, good. I ran across Ergo grips. Love these guys. Got a lot of different AR-15 accessories. They're probably going to advertise with us in the future. It's good. They have over 300 SKUs. Enhanced lowers part kit, or enhanced lower part kit for your AR-15. They make grips for AK-47s, AR-15s, and then they make rail covers, grips, obviously I just said, and then a wide variety of different accessories that you can change the color of your AR-15. They have kind of like a smoke, wavy, pattern on some of their stuff, so it really makes it look cool and futuristic, especially with the rail covers and stuff like that, and the mag well covers and stuff like that they have. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Is that where it kind of flares out, so it just kind of assist with you slamming mags in fast?
Yeah, it basically it works with for holding it, for however.
Oh, gotcha. If you hold the front of the mag while you're shooting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of gives a beefier feel to it and that kind of stuff, and it changes the color and looks cool. It mainly looks cool, but there's really some good ergonomics, just like Ergo grips calls themselves. Ergo grips ergonomics.
Got it.
Anyway, there you go. But some good stuff there. Also, I was going to say, yesterday I was at the Crossman booth, and Crossman is now Velocity. That's the parent company that has all that. They have purchased Ravin. They have the Benjamin line, the Pioneer line, the Centerpoint line, which is optics and crossbows. Centerpoint and crossbows are some of the best values of crossbows I see next to a Barnett crossbow. And then the wide variety of things that they're doing innovation-wise with laser max and that kind of stuff. They do the laser max,
I've played with some of their stuff.
Yeah, I know you have. So they've got, I get you some T&E stuff for that, but they basically are just one parent company to a lot of different brands of crossbows, air guns, and lasers, and so that's kind of the whole their whole thing. But they had a huge booth. And the Ravin crossbow, I was telling you before we started recording, literally is a bullpup design where the arrow comes. I mean, it's a short, like the shortest crossbow you've ever seen, but it's super smoking fast. And you talk about the other thing with Centerpoint and Ravin both, the innovation on the limbs. We're not talking reverse limb either, all right? Because when we talk crossbows, a lot of times you have your regular traditional limbs that come together, that bow out. And these, I'm talking 10 inches axle to axle, all right, in archery. 10 inches wide, okay? Uncocked.
Whoa, uncocked.
And then cocked, they come in even tighter and shoot, and I don't know how they wring that much performance out of it, but it is sick.
I want to see bullpup where that string goes when that arrow's supposed to be all the way up beside your ear. I mean, is the strings like lower or something, or
it's out of the way. I mean, it's definitely out of the way.
I gotcha. And I guess having your limb so narrow, the string would have a narrow path too.
So the idea with a narrow limb is basically that you have the fact that you can hunt in cornfields, for instance.
Sure.
Let's say that was a big deal when the reverse limb crossbows came out from Barnett, that you could hunt in tight spaces. And I have a Raptor Reverse, a Barnett Raptor Reverse, which I love and I let my son shoot. It's going to be his crossbow once he gets really into hunting. And basically, it really is good for tight spaces and that kind of stuff, where a normal crossbow gets kind of in the way because it's kind of clunky and awkward. Mm-hmm. But what they've done with the innovation of making it faster and shorter and less wide, okay? I mean, and what am I trying to say? Dustin,
compact?
Compact. Okay, cool, good. I'm trying to find a word. I'm grasping at straws here. So that's what I really found was interesting. So some of the stuff, and a Ravin is between like $1,800 to $2,800. So you're going to be stepping up there, but you're going to get some wicked speed. But even their the Centerpoint, which are one of the lower cost budget crossbows, 400 feet per second as well.
Nice.
Just depends on what features you want and how fancy you want to get.
It's cool.
It's really cool. So what else?
You're
checking off your list over there.
I am checking off. My memory. Mm-hmm. One of the cool things that totally not I guess relatable or practical to us, but just why we go to SHOT Shows to see cool stuff like this, is there was a minigun simulator, like a trainer. And so, I mean, they had a good point, because think about how much ammo would cost for that. And what they have a little platform, and they have even...
Was this the one that was outside?
No, this was inside on the floor.
Inside on the floor.
You'd hear it was the law enforcement rooms. You hear it keep going off because they have speakers and a projector.
I didn't go into that room. Yeah, that's cool.
Gotcha. Cool. It would, like, your point of impact would change, and they had like technicals running around and targets and enemy soldiers.
Whoa.
And so your rotation with the chopper would change, and then like they would actually the gun would recoil and move when it fires. And so then they had like simulated wind drift of what it would be, and how.
So you're mounted on a helicopter with your minigun?
Well, in the scenario training, yeah, I mean,
that's what I mean.
In the show, I'm standing on a platform with a minigun.
I'm just talking about the ideal scenario. In the simulation is
simulation. You're the screen is showing you as circling around this enemy base.
Dude,
and
that's crazy.
That was just the one program that they had the demo on. They said they have others for like warships and stuff like that, and but so I got to play on it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Your shots would drift around, and so you have to find your splash and just adjust and stuff. It was kind of,
really,
heck of a video game.
And you got to, off to the side, go to a range and shoot a real minigun.
Yeah. A guy who follows me on Instagram, shout out to Ron, works at Battlefield Vegas.
Cool.
And they actually send Humvees out to pick people up and drop it back off. So we're rolling down the Las Vegas Strip in the back of a Humvee.
Nice.
And get there and rip through 100 rounds on the minigun in 1.4 seconds.
I was about to say 1.5 seconds.
Yeah. So you can find that mess on Instagram or Facebook at Top Shot Dustin.
At Top Shot Dustin.
And
that's cool.
That was pretty cool.
You even
bucket
did a
list
slow-mo
thing.
version of it.
I forgot what I posted. I was having trouble posting stuff yesterday, but
cool.
We'll hit it again.
No, it's really cool. I mean, the idea behind all that is that the innovation of something like a minigun is old school. I mean, we're talking from the 60s and before, when they were used in Vietnam and that kind of stuff. But I mean, the amount of ammunition you can put down range.
Crazy.
In a short amount of time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it's kind of like the new version of the Gatling gun, I guess is what I'm trying to say, the minigun. But, I mean, it
definitely
runs even faster, and, I mean, there's no
insanely
crank.
fast. I mean, you don't hear shots. You hear...
Yeah, you just hear a buzz.
And now you got me all wondering, so I want to see how much lead that...
All right.
That's a little over 2 pounds of lead in 1.4 seconds.
Smokes.
If you're talking 150 grain bullets.
You did the math on that just now?
Yeah.
You're amazing.
I'm a reloader, so I know 7,000 grains to a...
Okay, so you actually converted grains to weight. Well, I know grains is weight.
Yeah,
but...
grains to pounds.
Wow. Jeez. So one of the things that I met with this week is the folks at Desert Tech. They make suppressors. They make ammunition. They make long-range sporting rifles. They make the MDR, which is a semi-automatic rifle in 223 and 308. And, man, I mean, I'm blown away at the fact that they have a wide variety of different things. I picked up a brochure on the MDR, fantastic weapon. I mean, they have it arranged every year. But the other thing is the SRS-A2, and I picked up a brochure on this too. This is like a shorty bolt gun that's bullpup. And it's heavy, but it's I mean, it's utterly accurate, it's mobile, it's convertible, it's compatible. And the thing that's compatible about it is you can drop another barrel in it. So if you want to go from 338 Lapua to 308 or 300 Win Mag, just swap things out. I mean,
that's some high-end stuff.
That's the modularity of the Desert Tech system with their bolt guns is crazy. I mean, it's absolutely amazing that you can go around and switch out different things. They make barrels and all kinds of different...
I heard they're insanely accurate, too.
Yeah, no, they are. But you were talking like a $5,000, $5,500 weapon. All right, which sounds expensive, but if you're going out to 1,000 yards or beyond and you're a long-range shooter... I mean, it's having something that's going to be reliable and going to be dependable and that kind of stuff out there if you're hunting out in the western game, for instance, and that kind of stuff. But they've got all kinds of different 308, 6.5 Creedmoor, 300 Win Mag, and 338 Lapua are the three different configurations you can get in that. And I'm just... These guys have got it going on, man. So Dustin listens to the podcast. Luke listens to the podcast from Desert Tech. So big shout out to both of you guys. A third Dustin. And then there's another Dustin that works at STI. I forgot to tell you about it. So there's 4 Dustins.
We're everywhere.
And then I was outside, and there was a Dustin that I met there that I was like, just like, hey, Dustin, hey. I was just like, it's Dustins everywhere. So anyway,
scary.
It's scary, dude. We're
deep
everywhere.
in the bowels of Vegas.
All right, next, what you got?
HoloSun. I've been able to run some of their stuff.
Yeah.
And was it just last SHOT Show? I can't remember. I got my hands on the 503 CU, and so it looks like an aim point. It actually fits an aim point footprint. So I put it in a LaRue mount, and then I beat the crap out of it.
You do this on video?
Yeah. There was a short video on Instagram and Facebook, I know, where I had it on my rifle. I just had it zeroed, and so I took it and I just bashed it up against a fence post repeatedly.
Holy smokes.
And it held zero and all that, and it's still on, and it didn't, it looks fine. But it's got a solar panel, and it's also solar panel that's it can work just on its own. You could rip the battery out, and if you have some ambient light source outside, it still works. With the battery in, it's got like the tens of thousands of hours battery life, and as different reticles, and it also goes to sleep. I love this feature. So it goes to sleep when there's no movement. You pick it up, it turns back on, and so you're
based
saving
on
the
solar
battery.
Power.
Well, solar power and battery. It's got
battery.
both,
Yeah,
so
it
can work inside a cave too.
I think they call that in the airgun world dual fuel, where it can run off of CO2 or air. This can run off of your battery or your solar.
Yeah, totally. And this year they came out with a 3x magnifier, flip to the side one.
I saw that.
And so I was playing with that too, and it's like, it looks good to me.
And the cost was like what, $200 or something?
Oh, they're
like
insanely incredible on the cost.
Yeah, they are. But I mean, the magnifier, you go to your EOTechs or whatever the higher end ones are. $600-$800 for a magnifier, for a 3x magnifier. This one's like $200.
Yeah, and honestly, the HoloSun reticle is clearer than any aim point I've had.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Or EOTech. I own an EOTech XP, you know what I'm saying, XP3 or XPS3, whatever. It's fuzzy to me, but the HoloSun stuff is a lot more clear and a lot more easier to,
I'm becoming a HoloSun fan because it works and it's affordable.
Right.
Now, at the CCI booth, I shoot suppressed a bunch.
Yes.
They have a new poly-coated 22 long rifle round. So they're taking the bullets, the polymer, they had their polymer coated lead bullets for handguns. So they're polymer coating their lead bullets for 22 and 40 grain, and the subsonic stuff for the 22 is in blue, and then they have a red coated for the supersonic stuff.
I see.
But what this matters is for suppressors, because suppressors, lead and carbon gunk the mess that they'll weld themselves together because they're so dirty and fouling.
Right.
And this is supposed to improve like a 60 to 80% reduction in fouling.
Really?
So I guess you could average 75% reduction in fouling. I mean, that means you could shoot 3 times longer
without having to clean your can.
Yeah. Right. So this could be some cool stuff.
That's cool. Well, and the thing that's interesting about that, they do the polymer coating just for the purpose of suppressors shooting, right?
They say it's cleaner, and when it first came out, it was more expensive in the handguns, right. So I didn't even give it a second look. Okay. But now it sounds like it's a comparable cost and the same cost. Last I looked on the website like a month or two ago, It was the same cost for the handgun rounds for copper jacketed or the polycoats. And so, cooler and cleaner was their deal. But so if they can do the same, you don't have a copper jacket on any 22 rounds anyway. It may be copper washed. Right. But I don't know, it may be worth it for those of us who hate running suppressors or just want guns to run cleaner. Right. So it's kind of cool.
No, I get that. That's cool. It's really cool. I met with Winchester today, the new 350 Legend. Got some more information, got a brochure. Just wanted to run this by you guys that are listening to this because they make them in 5 different categories as far as the ammo, the PowerPoint, the Deer Season, the Power Max, the regular Winchester, and then the super suppressed. So that's another thing talking about the suppressor categories for this is going to be. We talked about that.
What's the grain on that heavy one? I can see it here. 265.
It's pretty heavy, man. But we're talking about a 357 or a 35 caliber.
Exactly. Which, it's so comparable to 9mm as well.
Right. So they say introducing the world's fastest straight-walled hunting cartridge. And the reason why that straight-wall is a big deal because a lot of the states, I believe in the Midwest, have straight-wall rules because 4570 government is not going to travel as far as like a 308, because it's heavier, because it's a straight wall cartridges are preferred in some states and are a rule for some states because that's the way it works. So that's the thing with that. But anyway, approximately 20% less recoil than a 243 Winchester with about 20% more penetration, and then a less recoil than a 450 Bushmaster. So better than a 223, better than a 300 Blackout, and better than a 30-30 round. Yeah, and 30-30 is about on point ballistically with a 300 Blackout, from what I understand.
Well, I talked to CMMG, who is already making ARs ready for this cartridge, and here's what surprised and excited me.
Can we talk about this?
Well, yeah, okay. I think so.
Make sure.
I think so. I don't remember.
Okay, that's a forget.
Yeah, I think. Okay.
That's cool.
The cost of the ammo. Did you hear about that?
Yes, I did.
40 cents a round, under 40 cents, which is the same as a 223,
That's
a bulk 223 round.
Winchester told me that today, and so you have 2 options right now: CMMG AR platform, which I believe they make the magazines for them as well. Correct? I believe so.
They're working on the mags.
They're working on the magazines, and then you've got the Winchester. I forget what model of Winchester it is, but they're making a bolt gun for this caliber. So those are the 2 choices you have right now. But I'm kind of excited because it's something that is a new innovation in a firearm caliber, which you haven't seen. There's a lot of Wildcats out there. There's a lot of, Nosler we talked about on Chester's podcast we did last night. Nosler has several different of their own calibers, okay? But for something like Winchester coming out with a brand new caliber that's supposed to be better than all the rest in a lot of ways, as far as, less recoil, more penetration, more performance,
Yeah, I told the last time, I'm not one to jump on the caliber trains, but when you put it at affordable, that's a game changer. And it's because it's using a 223 sized brass and a 9mm sized bullet. Everything's tooled the mess out of that. They can go crazy. That's what made me think about it.
I didn't even think about that option until you said that again. That's a good point. That's very true. So That's good. What you got?
Now something I really would love for marksman camp. I saw. Okay, clay throwers.
Yep.
Okay, so automated, shotgun, clay throws for shotguns. I saw one today for archery.
And before we started recording, Dustin showed me video of how this works.
Yeah, and so it launches. How clays launch horizontal. This one launches vertical, so it launches in a vertical arch, but it's also adjustable. So you can shoot them like straight up at 90 degrees, 45 in the video I showed you, or you can rabbit them 0 degrees across the ground. It's like a maybe 8-inch, 10-inch foam disc. 2-inch one so it's on the vertical plane, so it's a target, and you're shooting those kind of flu arrows with the big feathery air dragging veins and feathers on them. But I mean, this thing looked like fun, but it was $5,000, so
right.
Nah, a little too big to pack in my backpack too. It's like a trailer.
A little bit too big for your bag. What does it run off? A battery?
Yeah, just 12 volt.
12 volt
battery. Just like a clay thrower. So it's like someone turned a clay thrower sideways and put rubber, big foam disc in.
Okay.
So it's like okay. So we don't need the big machine though. Let's just get some discs and a thrower, and I don't know. Can we rig something?
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Looks fun to me.
No, that's cool. Was visiting with AccuSharp today. Something for us hunters. They have a AccuSharp game processing kit, which is what? What are you looking at?
No, I'm just
check it out. We're still recording. Just kidding.
Timestamp.
Okay, that's cool. Well,
I was just curious.
Okay, 26 minutes in or so. AccuSharp game processing kit, butcher knife, caper knife, gut hook knife, bone saw, ribcage spreader, zip ties, game cleaning gloves with a hard side carrying case. Really, I've been looking for something like this that has a wide variety. I'll show you the picture. Yeah. It's got an AccuSharp sharpener built into it. It's got everything that you need to field dress, to clean, really almost a table at some point to do your processing with. If you like to do your own elk in the field, if you like to do the bigger bone animals like the elk or the bison and that kind of stuff, you've got a saw. You can saw through the rib cage, and you can saw through through some of the bone. You can also saw through tree limbs and that kind of stuff with the saw here too.
What's with the zip ties?
For your tags, dude.
Oh, smart.
You ever need? I mean, I'm always the one without zip ties, dude.
I have. Yeah. Sometimes I keep them in my backpack, but
I keep them in my backpack, but the dang things fall out all the time.
Yeah.
And then I'm like without zip ties. So I think having
smart.
And if you use theirs, then big deal. Get another set of zip ties from from Amazon.
No, well, that just proves that hey, we thought of everything.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a good idea.
That's cool.
The knives, the actual skinning knife has kind of a nice swept edge to it. The gutting knife, or the other knife has a nice, the kind of fillet knife, caper knife. The skinning knife has a gut hook on it. I mean, they thought of everything. It's really cool.
Pretty neat.
Obviously, AccuSharp's been a sponsor of the podcast before. I do a lot of stuff with their the little blue and white one. I still have. I'm getting ready to replace the carbide cross sticks that are in there. The carbide sharpener elements.
You used it a lot then.
Yeah, I do use it a lot. I've had it for 14 years.
Oh my gosh.
My dad gave it to me as my first knife sharpener when I got into hunting.
Wow.
So it's just one of those things where it's just kind of like sentimental to me. Now, I was telling the story at the Smith & Wesson booth because they own Schrade, Old Timer, Uncle Henry, a lot of those kind of knives. That my dad had a sharpener that was a honing steel for his, in a leather piece that the honing steel goes into for his knife sharpening. Somebody stole it the other day, all right, from his property, all right? And so I ordered him another one that's almost identical kind that Schrade still makes.
Neat.
I was like, dude, this is awesome. And he was so happy to get it. It was like $14. It was no big deal. But anyway, but no, there are a lot of different knife sharpening companies out there. AccuSharp, I really enjoy the amount of products that they have for sharpening on the go. You can sharpen serrated blades, which I haven't done a lot of because I've always been scared to, but they showed me how to sharpen a serrated blade. Go slow, go steady, go light. And you can sharpen serrated, like your bread knives and that kind of stuff, your serrated blades, your steak knives and that kind of stuff can get sharpened with AccuSharp and other types of sharpeners. So, but anyway, they've got your regular, handle sharpeners, or they've got your kind that fit in a pocket, all kinds of different ones. And so I wanted to definitely talk about that too. But that's a whole AccuSharp brochure.
Nifty.
Also hung out with SIG Optics today, SIG Electro-Optics. They've got new red dots. They've got the BDX. Have you ever heard about the BDX system?
No.
From SIG?
Oh, wait, yeah.
It's cool.
Yes, it's electronic, isn't it?
It's the electronic. It works off Bluetooth, and the rangefinder communicates with your scope. I mean, some of the coolest technology.
I did see
They
that.
ran a couple of ads with us. Stan Skinner, our one of our shooting editor guys, along with Dustin, he's one of our proofreaders in the magazine. He basically went through and did a Texas tested with that BDX system,
Sweet.
and really found that it was almost so good that he thought it might detract from the sport of hunting. That's how good he thought it was, because they can judge the range so accurately.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, his whole thing is it depends on what you consider the sport. If it's still shooting an animal 1,000 yards and making sure it's an accurate shot for ethical sense, then there you go. But if it's just about, I want to guesstimate and do all the dope in my head and all this other stuff, figure out all the measurements and drop and ballistics and everything like that. A dope in my head didn't sound good. Sorry about that.
We are in Vegas.
Dope, DOPE, the dope from whatever. I forget what that stands for. But basically, your shooting, statistics, your adjustments and all that other stuff. But it makes for an more ethical kill, a better shot. I mean, I think it's good.
I mean, you could say the same thing just about an app on your phone if you're not doing that. But this shortcuts everything, and I want to play with it. It
kind of takes some of the guesswork out, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I think that's a good thing. Visited Magpul today, MAGPUL, obviously known for the AR-15 accessories. Good lord, their stocks for the Remington 700. Their sunglasses now are new coming out. They've got all kinds of different angles they're trying to go for hunters, because a lot of hunters have never heard of Magpul. A lot of fishermen have never heard of Magpul, and obviously all of us outdoorsmen wear sunglasses. You're a big Wally X fan, I know. So Wally X is here too, but I just think it's cool how they're kind of broadening their horizon and trying to reach more outdoorsmen to know about.
They're not just making mags anymore.
They have a humongous booth, dude, don't they?
Yeah, I saw it.
Sick.
They have this really cool chassis for a Remington 700 I was drilling on. It folding.
I'll see what I can do.
And all that. It was sick.
And you went by, this one wasn't on our list, but CMG Triggers. CMC, forgive me.
Yeah, they have one for AK even. It was a flatty.
Yep.
And I was messing with it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's light. It's like, well, it's either 3.5 pounds or 4.5. It's like, it's definitely 3.5 or under.
So they started off making AR-15 triggers, and now they're getting into broader.
Yeah, they were like the original drop-in kit.
Yes.
So it's a great place to go if you have someone that owns the AR-15, and of course, if you bought a stock AR-15, you need a better trigger.
Right.
But it's probably like 7-8 parts in a trigger that could intimidate people.
Yes.
And this is just one modular drop-in, push the 2 pins back in and you're done, kit. And so that's where they started. And so it's simple install. And now they have the Glock triggers. They got Remington 700, of course the ARs and the AKs, and they're located in Texas too.
Yeah, so. Fort Worth.
I think so.
They run ads with us in the magazine, so obviously I don't want to forget them. But they, they even have like a Texas themed AR that they put in one of the magazine ads that they did, and I think it was the Christmas issue or it was an earlier issue. And it was just really cool to just kind of see. They're a Texas company, they're a Texas magazine, kind of like Sightmark, Cellmark, 12 Survivors, all the different things that they do in Mansfield, Texas. They're a Texas company too, and there's somebody I didn't want to forget either. But yeah, there's just a lot of, and Magpul's a Texas company now too. As you know,
oh, that's right.
They moved from Colorado to Texas because of the gun laws. For the most part.
Where'd they go? Do you know?
Austin, baby.
I didn't.
They're
I forgot.
West Austin.
Okay.
BK is right down the road from me.
Cool.
Gotta take those guys out for lunch or something sometime, man. They're really cool. But yeah, they're close. On
triggers, I worked with Next Level Training in the past. It's actually Mike Hughes, the guy who I was up in the final thing at Top Shot. Okay.
Top Shot in season 12, yeah. Or not season 3, 2012, yes.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So anyway, they have he showed me their prototype for their new AR trigger. Okay, because I like to dry fire everything.
What company is this?
CERT, the Next Level Training. It's their CERT product. So CERT is shot indicating resetting trigger.
If I remember Top Shot well enough, Mike Hughes was like your main foe at the end, right?
That's right.
y'all competed head to head with each other. And now y'all are like talking to each other.
We're still friends.
That's cool.
No, he was a great sport. He was awesome. He's even sent us some stuff for marksman camp and everything. So when we let the kids practice, like going down the zip line with the paintball gun, we sometimes send them with the SIRT pistol first.
That's cool.
So what the SIRT pistol does is it's like a Glock clone, and actually he has several other models now. But we have the original Glocks, and when you pull the trigger, it will shoot out a green laser beam or red, depending on your model and whatnot, and it'll show you. It indicates where your shot would have hit, and you can also see if you're jerking that gun because the laser will trace or something instead of stay still.
Really?
Yeah, because it'll stay on as long as you pin the trigger, which if you're a proper marksman, you're going to pin the trigger to the rear. Okay, and then it'll reset. So you relax the trigger, it resets, you can practice reloads with dummy mags and all that.
Wow.
Okay, well that's years old, the shot, the pistol, and he's had an AR bolt out for a while. So the first gen one was you kind of put this magnetic dilly on your trigger, like your hammer set on your trigger, and when you pull the trigger, it will show a laser out the bore of your rifle. Well, the deal with that was, so it would reset and stuff, but it wasn't your real AR-15 trigger.
Right.
It modified it with the actuator, so you got to practice, point shooting and your shot resetting and all that, but it wasn't your real trigger. Now, his new bolt is really cool because the bolt is actually a solenoid with a motor and stuff in it.
Oh, cool.
That resets your hammer.
Oh,
so when you pull the trigger, the bolt, your hammer falls, activates the laser, and then the solenoid will reset your trigger for you.
So it doesn't cycle, but it just refresh.
Yeah, it does all the cycling you need, which is resetting the trigger.
Reset the trigger.
So you don't have to cycle it. And the magazine is the battery pack. So you insert the magazine, the connectors hit the bolt up above it, and then you just start dry firing with your trigger on your gun in the way that you would, and then the laser comes out the bore and shows you where it would have hit. It's awesome. And
that is slick.
The first gen one, you could adjust the laser, so I'm sure you can do that now as well. Yeah. So you'll be able to see exactly where you're hitting. I was excited about it because that was a common complaint was, I'm practicing some stuff, but it's not my trigger on my AR, and they took care of it.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool, dude. That is so seriously cool. So, there's so many innovations here. That's just the amazing thing. That alone could save you hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars, in ammunition.
Exactly.
Going to the range.
You get that training. Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. What else did you see?
I came across...
I'm going to go grab something, so you keep talking. I'm going to go grab something I forgot.
I'll just pretend you're here.
Okay, all right.
All right, Dustin, tell us what's up, Dustin. Oh, hey, so this was really cool. It was a Zero Delta. It's a modular, Glock pistol, but it was solid, like aluminum. So Glock's normally polymer, so they're making an aluminum Glock, but if you know the SIG P320, it's SIG 320. It's the modular one where it's got the trigger and the rails and stuff. Okay, so you can take it out and put it in different frames. Right. They did that for the Glock, but not the Glock, their Glock. Okay, so it's all billet aluminum and such. But you have frame extensions, different back straps, and then different frames itself that you can drop into. So you'd have the same size of a 17, a 19, or a 34, because it's all 9mm right now. And then different slides that you can put on it, and different length dust covers. The price was not. It was like $1,400 or something for a base 19. So I was kind of like, wait, I could buy 3 different Glocks for this, but their whole thing is just their quality and customization. So again, innovation.
Yeah, it's crazy. Stopped by Coast booth today, and I came up with 2 things to show you, Mr. Ellermann, and I can get you some of these too. These flashlights.
They can't see.
I know you can't, but I brought these to show you so they could listen.
Okay, cool.
Sense.
Show me.
All right, so basically this is the Coast rechargeable 340 lumen bright HX5R. It basically has, I'll open this up so I can show you. I know this is not good for radio. But basically it's a zoomable flashlight that has...
Oh, those are cool.
Yeah, and it's really cool because it has a USB on the back of it that you just pull the back off and plug it into your USB drive.
Oh, neat. So you don't have to keep up with the wire.
No.
Because when I traveled, I had my Olight, and I brought my rechargeable wire so I could do that.
Yeah, and if you forget your chargeable wire, I mean, what are you going to do? So you can plug anything in that has a USB receptacle.
Well, that's cool.
Really, and it's a small flashlight, and it's perfect. It also has a belt clip that you can put it on your hat, or you can clip it on your jeans.
How big is it? Because if you're talking about putting on your hat,
it's a little heavy for your hat, but I mean,
it'll work in a pinch.
Yeah, it'll work in a pinch. So.
Dude, I was doing some electrical work one time, and I kept having my flashlight in my mouth. And later, my jaw was so sore, and I'm like,
really?
"Oh my gosh, why does my mouth hurt so bad?" And then I put the flashlight in my mouth later,
and
I was like, "Oh darn!" So yes, if you're gonna do that, a hat clip is nice.
Yeah, that is nice to have. So let me open it. Of course, there's sticky stuff on both sides, so I'm just gonna tear this thing open. I can't take these home on the plane anyway. You got a knife, of course. Yes, naturally, Mr. Ellermann. I might have you open this one next, but anyway, that's
you ain't getting in that one yet.
That's another thing. But they gave me a flash drive that has all their stuff in it. But look at the size, dude.
Okay, it's slimmer than the picture. I like that. Oh, it's light. There's no batteries in it. Huh?
No.
Okay.
But I think it takes a one.
Wait, but what's that in your hand? An extension? Oh,
extension,
cool.
Yeah.
So he's got an extension
USB.
USB,
USB,
which comes in handy for lots of
see
different
how that
things.
Goes in there?
Yeah, that's the female end.
The female end, and then you got the male end.
That's how that works.
So basically, yeah, I know that's how it works. But look how small it is, and I mean it's a really bright flashlight. I played with it today.
So the butt cap comes off, and then you have a male USB.
Yeah,
so you can
just stick it
in the block or the laptop.
Right, laptop, and I've got my laptop here that I'm recording the podcast on, so I mean, it's just be easy to charge.
Nifty.
And have ready to go. So, and then it just clicks on and off. And that, I think, is a Sierra 123 battery. Is that what that looks like?
Yeah, but it's got to be rechargeable to be rechargeable.
For sure, yeah. So
it just looks different than mine.
Yeah, it's just a little bit different.
Yep,
but
700 milliamp.
See, I had a feeling I was right about that.
Some gum.
That's silicone. I don't think that's gum.
It says you can eat it.
It says do not eat. Oh my gosh. We're getting off the rails here. All right, cool. I'll put that back. All right, the other thing I brought. So the Coast, I give you the model number of that again, is the H.
Yeah, it was long.
It was a little bit. It's a 340 lumen bright light. It has pure beam focus on it, which basically has a zoomable beam. HX5R, you can get these, I believe, at Academy. So,
cool.
Most of your Texas listeners know what Academy is. Other one, rechargeable headlamp kit.
Oh, rechargeable.
Rechargeable headlamp. So it comes with 3 batteries here, or the battery pack, and it comes with a single beam for flood. And then it comes to the red and green for hunting.
I like red.
So it's a little bitty red or a little bitty green
that
you can switch and so on and so forth. And I mean, that's really, really cool. Oh, I forgot
to tell you. Is it dimmable?
I don't know. You had to ask me.
I like it when they're zoomable and dimmable.
Yeah, I believe it's bullseye spot. I'm not sure exactly, but I will.
Well, you got the red, so you don't have to.
I'm going to be doing a review on this one. The FL78R Pure Beam Focus. Yes, it does. It is zoomable. Pure Beam Focus. That's what that means.
Dimmable is what I was asking.
That's what I'm. Oh, not dimmable. Okay, sorry, no.
Yeah, but what I love about rechargeable is I'm cheap, and so when it's rechargeable, I like, hey, I'll use it. It's not costing me anything but a recharge.
I'm like the cheapest guy on this podcast, like I've ever interviewed.
Yeah, because I'll stumble around in the dark, so I don't have to replace a battery later. I'm like, I'm not wasting that.
That's too much fun. But yeah, the bullseye spot for distance, flex charge, so you can and it's like dual fuel, like we were talking about with the Holosun scope or the Holosun.
So it's solar powered?
So no, it's not solar powered, but it's dual fuel, meaning it's rechargeable or battery powered.
So if you run out, or you lost your cord or whatnot, you can just put AAA's in.
Last SHOT Show I reviewed the Polysteel 600, which is like a 600 lumen flashlight. It's like part baton because it's so heavy. It's not heavy, it's lightweight, but it's like durable. It's like really, really durable. And it's made of a polysteel material. But anyway, that all being said, I actually I carry the rechargeable pack with me that I keep charged in my pocket, and then I run regular flashlight batteries in it. So I have a backup.
Yeah.
If I'm hunting and I need to switch out batteries, if I'm like hunting all night.
Yeah,
or anything
you need
like
backup.
That. But that's a cool thing. It comes with batteries. This particular kit does.
Yeah, the rechargeables.
And then the rechargeable one too.
Oh wait. Oh,
it's not rechargeable batteries.
Oh, I thought those were the rechargeable.
No, those are
just
Duracell batteries. Yeah, but there's the recharge pack right there.
Well, look at that. They gave you both. I didn't expect that.
So, like I said, you have a backup.
Yeah.
I mean,
how about that?
And it comes in a kit. I mean, it's really cool. So, rechargeable headlamp kit. And you guys that listen to this show know how much I love headlamps. I just do.
Yes.
I wear them all the time, and I wear like some of the big ones. My friends are all like, well, what kind of satellite stations do you get off of that thing, Dustin? I get made fun of all the time, but that's okay. Final thoughts, any other things?
I had one more thing.
Sure.
The coolest thing I thought at SHOT Show,
Okay.
I found a 9mm Gatling gun.
That's right, you were talking about that at dinner tonight.
So it's a miniature Gatling gun. It's like probably 10-inch barrels, and on 10-inch wheels, and it's got 6 or 8 barrels. I didn't count them. Maybe it's 7, and a crank, and then it sticks in Glock stick mags or like a drum mag. X Products I think has a 69 round drum mag or something. And so. Dude, I'm like marksman camp. The kids would love that.
Cranking that thing.
Yeah, give them each a Glock stick, a 33. That'd be a highlight.
That's hilarious. They'd have a memory for a lifetime.
We could cut down trees with it.
Oh, totally.
Dealer cost was like $3,000. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's still cool though.
Oh yeah,
if they donated one to you, you wouldn't gonna complain.
Yeah.
Right?
So Tipman Armory, thank you for your donation to
That's
Marksman
right.
Camp.
That's right.
Don't let us down. Everybody knows now.
That's right. Everybody knows. We've told it all now. So, I was gonna ask you before we finish this, your tree shooting video.
Yes.
35 million views.
Yeah, this week it crossed 35 million.
And you get some of the craziest hate mail, but the most interesting thing is that it was what we could shoot through a tree, you know?
Yeah.
And, I mean, I thought that was pretty innovative because, I mean...
I was just curious. Yeah,
So you made a video and it went viral.
Yeah. So, I remember shooting like a SKS or AK and it going through, it was a dead log, years ago. I was like, wow, I went right through that. And then I know I've nicked some of the trees at camp, and it nicked on the edge and it seen penetration.
Right.
And actually, as I intro the video, I was watching my cousin play PUBG online once, and they're taking cover behind trees. I'm like, well, yeah, try shooting through the tree. And that was video game logic, so that doesn't work at all.
Right.
But it got me wondering on more curious. It's
Sure.
like what calibers will penetrate a tree.
Sure.
And so we actually had 3 parts to the video, but the original one was, we had sequels, but the original one was the one that went viral. So we started at 22 because you got to start somewhere. 9mm, 357, 45, 223, 762x39, 308. 338 Lapua, if you want to say it, Lapua, and 50 BMG. I won't give you the spoiler alert, but
yeah, you've got to go check out this video if you're not an Ellermann
just
fan already.
shooting through trees. You put shooting through trees and you'll get it if it hasn't popped up and you're recommended already.
And Ellermann has 2 ends, so you can look it up for the other brother Dustin that way too. So
and then the sequels are cool too, because then we had to experiment. Well, how big of a tree does it take to stop the biggest bully?
Yeah.
A bullet.
Bully. Stop that bully.
And so we tested some 50 cals on trees incrementally up in sizes and found out what it would stop. And then we tested completely steel core ammo. So like the 4.5x39, 8mm Mauser, 7.62x54R, the 30-06 M2 API, the old black tip stuff, all that, and then even 50 cal API. Not just the 50 cal ball
armor
stuff.
Piercing incendiary.
Yeah, it smokes when it hits a tree. That's
Not
cool.
everybody that listens to this show knows what API means.
Sorry.
Sure. I didn't. I guessed, and I got it right.
No, you nailed it. And then next, we're probably going to film it next month. We're going to see how many rounds it takes to cut down a tree with a 50 cal.
That could get expensive. No,
I'm finding a sponsor.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, wood's very resilient and self-healing, because that tree that everybody's all upset over because I shot it, it's just fine. It's fine.
It was a live tree, but it's going to be fine. It's going to self-heal and everything because trees do that.
But this next one won't.
The next one we're chopping down. But, the funny thing is, the funniest thing I've heard the entire SHOT Show was tonight at dinner when you said, hey, folks, to the folks that are saying about, the people that are, I don't want to say tree huggers, but people that are really, you hurt that tree. I mean, Dustin's getting all kinds of hate mail on this stuff. He's like, what, do you have a memorial service every time the grass is mowed? I laughed so hard I darn near shot, water through my nose. That is true. I mean, it's just, I understand plants have feelings, I guess, but I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. If there's no central nervous system, I don't see how.
I don't, but it makes so much sense. We don't throw a memorial service when we cut the grass.
I live in East Texas. It's a pine plantation. In fact, the place we're shooting down the tree is a pine plantation.
There's plenty of trees.
They plant them, and pine trees. It's wood, people.
Piney woods, as they call that part of Texas. That's right. So, anyway, all right, Ellermann. Anything else to say?
That was everything cool on my list. They could check out my Facebook or something. I know I've been posting junk all week. We'll have updates on Fish Game, all that good stuff.
Yeah, fishgame.com. We'll have stuff in the magazine. Fishgame.com. You can subscribe to the digital issue. Watch my videos that I do, the digital issue videos that I do. This February, coming up to February, is going to be best hog bait for homemade hog bait.
Let's do it.
You've got, I'm not going to spoil it, but anyway, it's a good video. You should watch it. But
lots of different options.
Lots of different options. 3 main options, and they all involve corn because that's what pigs love to eat. So there you go.
Piggy Nosler sure does.
No spoiler alert. Your piggy Nosler is like 200 pounds.
She's much bigger than that.
Dustin has a pet feral hog that he found as a piglet named Nosler, and
she's probably just a few days old.
You can see the adventures of Nosler on Instagram, correct?
She needs her own Instagram because she gets more attention than I do.
She gets more views and impressions and stuff than you do.
I know. That's the only reason my YouTube channel works. They're just waiting to see the pig.
Here's the pig. Oh my gosh, we're getting loopy because it's late. Thank you guys so much. Anything else to say?
I'm good. Thanks.
Thank you guys so much for watching, reading, and listening. Have an awesome day in the outdoors. We'll see you next time.
Okay, love it. Bye-bye.